Have you been thinking about using a online builder to make your CV look more appealing to employers? Well, one of the leading CV builders online just dropped a new version of their software about a week or so ago, and I'm going to review it for you. Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm the Career Doctor. I'm here on YouTube to help you manage your career. If you're liking these videos, please leave a like or a comment below. And if you've seen more than one, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. So today we are going to look at, we're going to be looking at Zeddy, which is one of the leading online builders on the internet. This is their front page, and they've had they used to be called Up to Work, and then they changed to Zeddy. Not sure why they did that. Up to Work seems to be a good name for a resume builder online, but they've been around for several years, and you can see you can create your resume now. You can set up an account. One of the things I don't like about these online builders is often it's very difficult to know what the pricing is until you've signed up. It's like one of those freemium models where they entice you in and then you design and you get a nice looking resume and then you realise you've got to pay for it. But they're actually not that expensive, and compared to graphic designers or getting a professional CV builder, they may actually be a lot more affordable for you. But you can see one of the benefits, cover letter builder as well, is built into this package. A lot of them offer that as well. One of the things I like about this platform is there's a bit of a suggestion about how you can improve your resume, and that's actually improved in the current drop. A lot of templates, flexible text editor, and then they give you some examples of what your resume may look like online. And you can see you can have two-column effect. You can actually have single-column effect resumes as well. So as I said, they've had an account for a while, and I've really liked them. I used to use this one called Visual CV. The reason I moved from Visual CV to Zeddy, there's a few reasons. I think the ability to customize your CV and the sort of number of templates, the freshness of the look of the CV in Zeddy, and the ability to change fonts and move things around, and it just was a bit of an improvement over what something like Visual CV gives you. Visual CV costs about I think $40 a month US Australian, maybe a bit less to use. There's a 3-month package where you can buy it for 3 months. Again, their pricing is a little bit hard to discover until you actually get into it. So anyway, I moved over to Zeddy, and so the thing I want to cover in today's video is, with CV builders, what are the differences between the classic version, let's call it the classic version of Zeddy, and the new version of Zeddy. And I'm going to go through 3 things that I really like about the new version of Zeddy. One of which is, I think the price is actually very affordable and very cheap. But I think that price might have come into some of the other decisions that they made about this new, fresher version of Zeddy. The thing that they've really added in this time around is the ability to upload an existing resume. That's really handy if you've already got a document, so you don't have to go through the process of doing it all again from scratch or copying and pasting across. And a lot of the problems sometimes with these CV builders is you can upload the resume, but it only uploads a little bit of information, and it's not really that helpful. In this case, I think it does drag across quite a bit of info. You do have to go through a reformatting process, and I'll show you what I mean by that shortly. And the big winner here is the download option. This is the first product I've seen where you can actually get both a PDF version of your CV or resume as well as a Word document that's in a usable format that you can edit. Now, again, Visual CV also offers a download of a Word document. What I've found with that is that the problem is that it comes in a format with lots of boxes and things that make it really hard to edit anything more than a couple of words without changing the formatting and making it look horrible. And I've suggested that to the developers of Visual CV, that they possibly want to look into improving their product a little bit more. So that's the the good sides of Visual CV, but what about the not so things to like? So two things that I don't like about the new version of ZEDI is in the classic version you get a web link for your CV, which is really handy for sending to employers, a direct link which you can download. It's really handy for someone like me who helps people to build resumes so they can review it and not constantly sending them a new link to look at or a new document to look at. And with web links with CVs and resumes, you can get tracking to see how many times your resume or CV is looked at, which may not be such an issue, say, in the medical profession where you're often mainly uploading a PDF anyway, but would be a big issue in a number of other industries. And the other issue is the customization options. They seem to have taken away a lot of the fonts, the ability to change specific aspects of the CV, and I really think that's a bit of a problem. And again, I wonder if that's partly because they've gone for a more budget version of the software to entice more customers. So what we're going to do is have a look at the two different versions of ZEDI, the classic version and the new version, try and compare a few of the aspects of it, and then I'll leave you with some of my final thoughts. So let's get into it. So here we are. This is the back end of ZEDI, the classic version. You can see that I'm currently signed up for a premium subscription, which every month costs $25 Australian, which is sizable. And, I think if you're only using it for, say, 2 or 3 months, that's, again, as I say, cheaper for an individual to be doing than maybe paying a professional developer to do their resume, particularly if you know the sort of content and the style and the language that you want to put into your resume. But that being said, if you're wanting to keep this for a period, say like you've got a job and now you want to come back in 2 years, well, you're sort of between a couple of issues here, aren't you, really, whether you want to delete your account for a period of time and then have to kind of re-establish it the next time you go for a job and save yourself the $25 per month. But this is the type of template on the interface that you can see with something like the classic version. This is why I like it, because it gets a really nice, clean looking front page, and it's always about the front page of your CV. That's where all the important information goes. So you can see this, we're in the preview and customization version of the old classic ZEDI. You can change a number of things here by just clicking on the advanced tab. So example, there's a range of fonts that you can use. We can see how a different font would look. I'm not a big fan of the serif fonts on CVs, the little bits at the end of the fonts, the letters. I think we need to go for a clean, what's called a sans serif font. So we might just knock that back to Nodo Sans. Another thing you can do here is in the personal info, we can do, for example, if we want to make this role title a bit bigger, we can just simply increase the size of the font. And then we can get the online resume. So this is where you get the personalized link, which you can then preview online, which is really handy. At the moment, I've got this dummy one deactivated, so I'm not going to turn that on. There's plenty of options for adding new sections in if you want, and sort of sorting out which goes in column A and column B. Now, not every theme has 2 columns, so you can change that as well. The editor is very easy to use. There's options to change all of these. You can change the title, professional memberships, and use a number of icons if you want, and do something like that. And then you can go back and preview. And with all the text here, there's in all of the free text sections, let's just show you that. There's the ability to, it's got like a mini WYSIWYG sort of editor where you can bold, italic, underline, you put in links, bulleted lists, make it all really look nice and well set out. And as I said, the final product does come out really nice looking. I'll show you what that looks like. We'll use this to also check out the new ZEDI. So that's the old version. I really like it. I found a really good way of developing CVs, not just for myself, but for other people. So here we can see we're in the back end of the new ZEDI, and I'm going to just turn off all these things. So changes. I'm in a basic version, which allows me to go to my dashboard and look at a resume here that I've made up, which has got really nothing in it at the moment. And in settings, you can upgrade to full access here. And so your options are for 14-day full access or monthly access at $5.95, which is $71.40 for a year. So that's pretty cheap. That's basically, these things cost about maybe somewhere I've seen between $15 and $25 a month. So you're getting access to something for a year that's probably worth paying that $71 if you're going to use it for more than 3 months. You might as well get a year's access to it. So what I'm going to do now is show you how you can develop a new resume in ZEDI. So I'm in the back end here of the new version of ZEDI. I'm just going to show you through some of the ways this happens and just point out some of the differences between this current version and the old version. And so the first thing you have to do is pick the style of your resume. Now you can change this after you've uploaded all the information, so you're not wedded to it. I'm going to select Cubic. It's my old favorite. Next option is start from scratch or upload an existing resume. I'm going to go for the upload. I'm going to go for the upload just to show you how that all works. I'm going to drag in a resume that I developed using Visual CV, and we're going to click Next, and very quickly that's uploaded everything, and you can get a preview. And you can see, look, the font's not great, it's broken up some things, but there's a whole chunk of information there. If you contrast this to the actual resume, so if you contrast this to this resume to the one we've now got in the new version of ZEDI, it's got pretty much all the information. We then have to go through a process of tidying things up. We can preview along the way. It gives you tips, which you can turn off at any point in time. So here we might just fix up a few things here. Regional city, hospital, regional city, New South Wales. Pick the date, January 2018 to January 2019. Then I'll look at the work details. See here, it gives you suggestions based on the job title you've picked. So this is an intern, like a general intern, but we can make this intern doctor, and it gives you different suggestions, some of which are more responsibilities in my opinion I wouldn't add, but here are things where you can give quantifiable results, which is always good. I'm going to go save next. We get the opportunity then to provide additional work history if we want. We're going to skip that. No thanks. We're going to add education. Here it's a bit jumbled up, you see. We're going to just move that up to the top. I'll do a quick edit on that. Regional university, regional city. Graduate in November 2018, medicine. This is why I think there's a bit more development to go here, because there's not a lot of options here. I'm just going to tidy that up. That as well. So it's, again, kind of gives you some suggestions of things that you can add in. Like good things to sort of insert into your educational history. I need a graduation start date apparently. And we can add more. Skills, just going to delete some of this stuff. And it's brought in the career statement. Again, we get some tips on things that you can add in. Doctor. I believe that I've done this on the basis of analysing thousands of other CVs and bringing that data in. Extra sections can be added. You've got 4 options there, or you can add your own. And then we're basically at the back end. And you can still do, so it gives you a few options that you don't get in the normal Zeti. There's a resume check, and you get a score. And it tells you what you can improve, missing contact information, recognisable name, summary is too long. I disagree with that. It's probably going to tell me that wording is too complex. Yep. When I tried this out before, it told me it was too long in total. It told me it should be no more than 2 pages. Please ignore that. Your CV should be as long as it needs to be and no longer. That is, writing a career document based on some arbitrary premise that it needs to fit into a certain length is not the point. The point is how well can you summarise and tailor your career to give the pertinent issues for the reviewer. That being said, you should always focus on the front page. Stuff I did well, active language, correctly not included graduation year, etc. So that's definitely an upshot on what you get. You get a little bit of guidance in the old Zeti. This is a lot more guidance. There's a spell checker as well. You can go back and add another section if you want. You can download at this point, and you can reformat. And this is where I think I just want to show you the difference, where I have a bit of a struggle with this version. So formatting options, small, large, that's just the font. Then we get into the customization. So we can change the overall font size. We can change the heading size. We've got one of 10 fonts to choose from. Let's look at the existing Zeti. So we're in editor mode here, preview mode here, and we can click on advanced. We have one of 30, I think 1 fonts to choose from. No Noto Sans in the current Zeti. We can change things at a much more granular level. For example, under personal info, I can change that, which will change the size of the title. I can change the personal info titles. So you get a lot more granularity there than you do in the current version of Zeti. So I wonder whether they're going to bring that in. I hope they'll bring that in. You can change the colour. But yeah, I hope they'll bring some of that back, because that's a real problem for me. There's not enough customization options there really at the moment, particularly around the fonts. I'd like a few more fonts to choose from. And then the other issue is, as opposed to classic Zeti where you have this online resume where you can preview it online, download it online, share that link online, that's not available, and you can't track it. So that's not available in the new version of Zeti. There's no link. You can email, but there's no link to review it online. Let's just look at what it looks like when you download it in a PDF. There we are. So it's pretty nice. Pretty much like the old version. I mean, obviously you need to do more work on this. But this is the exciting bit. download as a Word document. Now this is available as an option in Visual CV, which I've shown you before. However, the thing you get is not really very useful. Other than changing a few letters or words, not very handy. Once you start adding more lines, because it's constrained to a whole lot of boxes and things, it just becomes problematic. But the version we get with Zeddy is much more usable. Let me just show you what we get. So again, that looks just like the document I showed you before, but we can add things here. We can add a whole new paragraph, and the thing doesn't get disrupted. I can take the title off, and I can probably fix that a bit, and that's okay. Alright, well that's not so okay, but yep, we can get that fixed. I'll just put that one back. So some things maybe a bit harder to play around with. You can add in more bullet points or just a whole new... trying to add a new job, it's doable, but you see here if I kind of do this, it disrupts that, and then I have to put that down, and then I'd have to copy both of those. So this is in kind of a little table format. But I could hand this over to someone, having developed it, and they could make some of the big changes that they may want to make to the document, and there would be no real problem in doing that. If they wanted to add some more information, they picked up a typo, rather than me having to sort of go back and do it, which is great for me. If there was a whole new lots of information, I'd probably want to go back to the Zeddy builder. So that is my review, my first pass review of Zeddy, the new version of Zeddy. As I said, things I like about it: the ability to upload an existing CV, the ability to download a CV in the Word format. Some issues there. What do you think? Is this something that you would find useful? Would you like to see me do a series on how you develop a good-looking medical CV using the new version of Zeddy? If so, leave me a like or a comment below. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.